So what you see around us here is an area that had been in an existing lawn, and this area is being prepared by spraying out the existing lawn with an herbicide and then mowing it quite low.
Then what do we do?
So once the lawn is ready and it's been mowed quite low, the next step is going to be actually applying the seed.
How do we do that? What do you recommend?
So the first thing to note is that each of these bags covers 1,000 square feet. In the case of this property, there are 4,000 square feet of turf, and so we will be using 4 of these bags to cover the entire area with an appropriate amount of seed.
What are we going to use to spread our seed?
You can use a standard fertilizer spreader like the one I have here, and once the seed is in the hopper, you'll go over this area in 2 directions, north, south, east, west, a crosshatch pattern so that you have overlap as you spread the seed.
Well, that sounds easy enough.
So one thing that's really important is to know how much area you're covering. And since each of these bags covers 1,000 square feet, apply 1 bag at a time. Measure out a 1,000 square foot area, apply 1 bag, and then move on to the next.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So one thing you might want to consider is you may have edges like you see here that you want to go over and seed with by hand to get full coverage.
Okay. And should I just like grab the seed and...
Yeah,
well,
grab
cool.
a handful.
Alrighty, that's what I'll do.
And just sprinkle that evenly around the edge there.
So Kelly, we've put our seed down. What's our next step?
So the next step is going to be applying a very light irrigation to moisten the seed bed because that's going to help this seed germinate.
So Kelly, how much time should we irrigate our new seed?
That's a good question. So right now, when we're trying to get germination, we really only need to keep the very surface of the soil moist. And so with rotary sprinklers like we have here, about 5 minutes twice per day.
Okay.
If you have more standard overhead spray type sprinklers, no more than 2 minutes about twice a day.
Because they put out a lot more water, don't they?
They definitely put out a lot more water. And again, we're only trying to keep the surface of the soil moist.
So if I understand it correctly, we only water twice a day for only 5 minutes with our rotor spray heads. But if we had pop-up sprays, we only water for 2 minutes twice a day.
That's correct.
Excellent. Kelly, is there anything else we should do now that we've seeded and watered our seed?
So there's something you can do, it's not a requirement, but if you have the option, using a mulch spreader like you see here can be run across the area that we've seeded, and the idea is that that mulch is going to keep that moisture in the seed bed. It's going to take most advantage of the irrigation that's been applied.
And we apply the mulch after we water?
Could be either way actually, could be before or after, but again, it's an option. Do it if you're able, but it's not a requirement.
Okay, good to know.
A little bit.
So Kelly, I also understand that if we decide to mulch, it's a good idea to water it after we mulch so that we keep the mulch in place and it doesn't blow away.
Definitely, and also just adding a little bit more moisture to that seed bed.
Excellent, good. So just so folks know, you don't have to buy this equipment. We rented it, and you can rent it at most any dealership that rents landscape or yard equipment. So Kelly, we've seeded, watered, and mulched, and we know that we only need to water twice a day for either 2 or 5 minutes, depending on our sprinkler system. But how many days do we water it now?
That's a really good question, and it has to do with how long these particular species take to germinate. And in the case of the species we're utilizing here, that can be anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks. So my recommendation would be to maintain that establishment level of watering for 3 to 4 weeks, at which point you're going to start to see small grass seedlings germinate.
Oh, that's exciting.
It is, and you'll know you've succeeded at that point. And the other thing to keep in mind is that once those seedlings get to be about 2.5, 3 inches tall, you can start to mow.
Oh, wow.
And mowing will actually encourage establishment and spreading of the grass.
Now, once this grass is established, how often should we mow, do you think?
To maintain your appropriate height, which again is going to be somewhere around 2.5, 3 inches, we always recommend a higher mowing height to encourage deeper rooting.
Excellent. Well, we'll do that very thing.